Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello, Brian. Hello, Igor. Hi, Brian. I'm just gonna wait a little bit so I can join you here in the video with me. I just wanna welcome everybody for our third week, actually, of Just Love event. Has been really amazing. So thank you, everyone. Today our guest speaker will be Brian. He gonna talk about skilled trades and LGBT community. He's already here, so I'm gonna put him just in a few minutes. Just gonna wait a little people started to join us. Just wanted to remind that next Thursday we also wanna have another workshop with Adam. He will talk about DMA and LGBT. That'd be amazing. So please talk about and share to your friends. Invite them to watch with us. Okay? Can you hear me well? Hi Victoria. Hi Paula. Hi Divago. The question box is showing up for you guys. Perfect. All right, so let's start it. Let's not gonna waste our time. So let me put Brian here. Now, actually, the question box, the question mark box, right in the bottom, next to the comments. Hello, Brian.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you well.
Perfect. So, welcome.
Thank you.
And once again, thank you so much for being here with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for doing this. This is great, what you're doing.
Yes. So, Victoria's saying that the question mark box is not showing up. So I guess if everyone has any question for Brian, just add on the comments. Okay, so I'm gonna take a note and then I'm gonna ask him later. Okay, perfect, Brian?
Perfect.
All right, so Brian, Just Love's all yours.
It's all mine?
Yes, for tonight.
Great.
So talk a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'll talk about me. That's where I'll start. And then I'll talk a little bit about my journey the past little while. So my name's Brian Smith. I'm 29 years old. I'm from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. I'm a gay welder, and I'm the founder of Spectrum Trade Alliance. And Spectrum Trade Alliance is a nonprofit organization, and our mission is to foster a sense of community among LGBT people in the skilled trades and related industries. So I went to college years ago, and I spent a few years there. I spent about $20,000, and I'm still paying off those student loans. And I didn't end up with a job based on that education. So I ended up changing industries altogether, and I decided to venture into the skilled trades. It was attractive to me at the time because I didn't have to spend years in school learning it. It was just a few months, and I didn't have to pay for it. It was covered through the federal government. And so those made it a pretty attractive choice. And so I went to school in May of 2019, graduated in August of 2019 with no student debt and I'm making more money now than I ever was before. I have a good job today, benefits, RSP plan, all that good stuff. And yeah, so that's where I'm at today. And I guess I'm here to talk a little bit about the fact that when I first got involved in the skilled trades, it was pretty clear that there weren't a lot of LGBT people who were at least out in the skilled trades. I remember when I started to work in a factory setting, I felt pretty alone. Like I didn't feel like I was looking around and I was like, where's my people? Like, I felt pretty lonely. It was mostly heterosexual men. And I had some pretty positive experiences in other areas of life with having a sense of community and a sense of belonging. And so I thought we need to foster that sense of belonging for LGBT people in these industries. And so I reached out to some of my friends. I said, this is what I'm thinking of doing. I'm thinking of starting something for us in the skilled trade so that we have like a community to share with one another and promote advocacy of LGBT people in the skilled trades, equality and diversity in the workplace. And a friend of mine suggested, well, why don't you look into, maybe an organization that already exists and sort of join them. And I thought that makes sense. And so I looked for one, and guess what? I couldn't find one. And a lot of research. There really wasn't anything. So it was very clear that something need to be started. Something had to be started. And so I started it. I had no experience with like nonprofit organizations, running a business or anything like that. But I basically went online and I learned what to do step by step. We started a nonprofit, and from the get-go, there were a number of really important people with lots of experience and different credentials, and people who, when they heard about the purpose of this organization, they were on board instantly. And so they joined a board of directors, and they've been like indispensable in helping to grow this organization. And so like we have a human rights attorney on our board of directors. We have an electrician. We have a journey person, sheet metal worker, and it's a small but diverse board of directors. And yeah, so that's where we're at today. What our primary goal is at this point is to just network and get the word out that this organization exists.
I'm sorry, that was you.
Right.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. It's just support to. We need to get the word out that there is support for the community. Like guaranteed, I'm not the only gay welder. Guaranteed, there are other disciplines within the skilled trades that have LGBT people, and they might feel, like they might feel alone, like I felt in the beginning. And I was talking with another member of the board a while ago, and she said, when it comes to the trades, we're at least 10 years behind every other industry. And so that means, a lot of people in the skilled trades aren't out, and they might be afraid to come out. And so I think that the more visible the LGBT community is in the skilled trades, the easier it will be for other members to feel more comfortable. And so I think that's a big part of our movement, is just visibility and advocating for equality in skilled trades. Yeah, so that's where we're at. Some of the things we're looking into doing, still a work in progress. The things we're looking into doing, we would love to be able to offer free legal advice for people who might be experiencing issues in the workplace. we're not there yet, but we're seeing if it's possible, and we're working towards it. We're looking into creating some like presentations that we could maybe provide to workplaces. Just presentations on respectful workplace and diversity and inclusivity and things like that. And yeah, that's where we're at.
And are you guys working only in Canada, or are you guys thinking about like extending for United States?
Yeah,
What is the plan?
Canadian nonprofit organization, but the main way we communicate, even before the COVID pandemic, is online. And so we can get support from anywhere. Like, people have reached out to me online from, not even from the States, from other countries. And I think when it comes to building a base of support and networking, there's no boundaries in terms of geography. So we can go anywhere.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
That's my spiel.
So, no, I mean, that's amazing. I think when I reached out to you, I was reading a little bit about Spectrum, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. That's so amazing what they're doing. So like, oh, let me talk about with Brian and invite him to be here with us, because this is something that we need, right? Like, more visibility and more people and organization helping us. Like, it has been really difficult for the LGBT community during these whole times, and like someone needs to do something for the community, right?
Yeah, I've always found a lot of, when I'm focused on trying to help other people, it sort of gets me out of my own head. I tend to be a worrier, and I have some anxiety sometimes, and when I'm focused on serving others, that's when I guess I get the most relief, when I'm focused on helping other people.
And do you know, like, if it's the thing are more easier for people, LGBT people in Canada right now? What do you think about, like, or in the past?
It's a good question. I don't know. I mean, all I really have to go by is like the news and the media, and a lot of the news I hear come out of the States when it comes to LGBT rights and things like that isn't always the most positive. Our government is really, really inclusive and promotes diversity and LGBT friendly and all that. But when it comes to like my personal experiences working in factory settings, working in trade settings, like, homophobia is everywhere. Whether that comes in the form of blatant discrimination, or just saying words that are offensive and people just don't realize it. And so I think that's where the education piece comes in, is a lot of people, the way they talk or the way they behave, they don't really realize what effect that has on people in the LGBT community. And so, a lot of this education and this advocacy isn't about creating enemies, and it's not about that. It's about letting people know, this is what this means. This is how you affect people. Let's try and be a little bit more aware of how we conduct ourselves in the workplace.
That is totally true.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, how do you see for the transgender people? Do you think, like, for them it's more difficult than for other ones?
100%. Yeah, we're actively looking for trans people to join us. Like, I would love to have someone who identifies trans on our board of directors. I think the more diverse, the better, and that's our goal, right? Is to promote inclusivity and diversity, and I think that would be great. Yeah, when it comes to whether it's trans or gay or bisexual, anyone in the LGBT community, it's tough because we're not a visible minority. There's a real push in Canada to be more inclusive in the trades when it comes to women and Aboriginal people and underrepresented populations when it comes to visible minorities. But in basically like all of the publications I've read about, how we have a skilled trade shortage and we need to be more inviting and inclusive, I've never seen the word LGBT written in any of those publications. And so it's not talked about and it needs to be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And like, how about um the POC people? Do you know the LGBT with color? How is the environment for them on the skilled trades? Do you know anything? Do you know it is easier how it works?
I don't know. Like when it comes to the visible minority piece, the government is actively trying to
More,
yeah, they're actively trying to help like women and visible minorities. So people of color obviously would fall under that. But when you combine it with the LGBT aspect, I don't know. I think when we're looking at it from an accessibility point, they're two separate issues. Even though it's one person, it's two separate
Mhm.
issues. So it's kind of hard to answer that.
Okay, good. I mean, I don't know in Canada, but here in the United States, I mean, everybody's watching what's happening with uh, the whole situation here right now. So, um, I don't know. I heard that in Canada, the things and the government is kind of more better for the whole visible minority, as you said. Um, I always thought that would be so much more aggressive for the LGBT community as well. So like for me, what you're saying right now is kind of like, oh, I thought it was more friendly than the rest of the world. For example, like here in the United States.
Canada, you mean?
What, excuse me?
Is Canada you were talking about or no?
Yes, yeah, it's about Canada. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it is for the most part. It's just when you go to certain settings, like just an example, factory settings. Like I said before, it's mainly dominated by heterosexual men, um, and a lot of times when you get groups of people together, we have this thing called groupthink, and there's a lot of like homophobic sort of joking and that sort of rhetoric that can make it really uncomfortable for people in the LGBT community and people in the LGBT community who aren't out. So I think no matter how open and diverse our country is, there's always going to be those pockets and those certain settings where we find
That's true.
discrimination,
That's true.
whether it's intentional or unintentional.
So, what do you think about people that do you think people should be honest about who they are, like when they go for an interview and they skill traits? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't think that's not up to me to answer for anyone. I can speak for myself, and I have no shame in who I am. One of the things, like when I applied for this, I work at a company now, welding, and when I applied for the job, on my resume, I have founding director, Spectrum Trade Alliance, and I put what it is. And so, when my employer reads that, he can put two and two together, that I'm in the LGBT community, right? So I have no shame. And it didn't play a factor, at least it didn't play a factor in the negative because I got the job and I still have the job. And so, yeah, but yeah, like for me, I went through my growing pains in my teenage years with, battling with, am I gay? Am I bisexual? My parents not really, um, I can't say that. I didn't feel supported by my, whether or not that was the reality, whatever, that was my perception. So I went through those growing pains years ago. So now I'm at a place where I just, whatever. I am what I am. I am who I am, and no shame about it.
That's true. Like we need to be proud of who you are, right? So like if the company doesn't want you or doesn't accept you because, like whoever you are, whoever it is your beliefs, just like go and find another
Uh,
place, right?
yeah, exactly.
Right? And like if you don't find anything, just create your own, like open your own, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's already hard for us to be inside on the closet at home. So being like inside in the closet and a job that most of the time we spend more hours in there, it's hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I can't imagine. Like I work in a place that is totally LGBT friendly. I'm so thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that there are other places that are not. So like, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to say that, like, because each one has their own idea and about what they should supposed to do. Or,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard.
Yeah.
These are a hard decision. Do you have any tip for the immigrant LGBT plus community? Like if they want to start in the skilled trades in there
Any
in
what?
Canada, typically? What, excuse me?
What did you say? Any tips? Is that what you said?
Yeah, for the immigrants LGBT in Canada that they want to start like on the skilled trades over there.
Yeah, so I would say go online. Actually, let me pull it up right now so I can give the right information. Yeah, if you go to ontariocolleges.ca, for example, they make it really easy to find something that you'd be interested in. And there's a lot of different grants and things like that to help for people who are interested in getting involved in the trades, because there is a trade shortage in this country, and they try and make it as easy as possible. So yeah, and federally there's support too, and I'm sure in the States they have similar issues. Yeah, so
Yeah,
online is where I would start.
perfect. And do you think it is easier for the immigrants over there?
In the States?
The immigrants over there in Canada,
Oh,
do you think it's good for them to start a new career and go on?
yeah.
Because here in the United States, we know that it's not.
Yeah. In Canada, we're pretty welcoming of immigrants, refugees. From what I understand, the government's very helpful when it comes to setting newcomers up with basically a life here in Canada. So absolutely. And it goes back to that the minority thing. Like we need a diverse workplace. Absolutely.
That's true. That's so cool to hear that. Um, do you, how do you see the trades market for the LGBT people in 10 years? What do you think about it in the future? Do you think it's gonna be so much better than right now?
I hope so. I hope
Be honest.
there's more. I hope there's more of us. I hope there's more visibility, and I hope I hope there's more LGBT representatives, welding or electricians or plumbers. I really hope so, because it is like getting involved in the trades is a smart thing to do. Like when I was in high school, I remember the trades weren't very glamorous. Like the teachers and my parents sort of tried to steer me towards going to university, right? That was you want to be successful, you go to university. No one really told me along the way, hey, you can also be successful if you have a trade. And like I said, I got no student debt for the trade that I went to school for, and I'm making better money now than I did when I was, years ago, going for my 2-year college diploma, and over $10,000 worth of debt because of that one. And I wasn't too successful with that, but I went to school for 3 months, learned how to weld, and now I'm more successful. Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's see. I hope for the best, right? Of course.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think I saw some comments here. Let me read. Hippie yoga.
Hippie Yoga Surf Mama is one of our directors. She's a human rights lawyer. Her name's Carrie Ann.
Oh,
Just
cool.
lovely. Thank you for coming to support us, Carrie Ann.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we would love to have the maximum diversity on our board. So, like, if people want to join you guys, the Spectrum, where they should go to reach out to you?
Yeah, so we have a website, it's spectrumtradealliance.com, and we've got an email, info@spectrumtradealliance.com. We got an Instagram page, Spectrum Trade Alliance, And we
Do you wanna type the website here in the comments so I can pin here?
yeah, the what? Sorry, the
The
website.
website.
Yep.
Yeah, just put the website in the comment.
Yeah, all the other information you can find on the website, Instagram, LinkedIn. There we go. We're also we're a fairly new organization, so any help, both human help and financial help, is appreciated. So there's also a spot on our website where you can contribute using PayPal.
I'm trying to. I don't know, it's not working. But I think everybody can read the Spectrum website. That's fine. All right, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So Brian, do you have anything else to tell us? Talk to us about it?
No, I think it's really important that we that this issue is addressed. Like, I just think we're really underrepresented when it comes to the skilled trades, and I think there's there's a lucrative potential when it comes to working in the skilled trades, and I think if we make it more diverse and more inclusive, then it'll be easier for LGBT members to even consider it and then to enjoy a successful career. So hopefully people like myself and the members of Spectrum and other LGBT people who are working in the skilled trades can sort of speak up and stand up and make it easier for the rest of us.
Yes, and thank you so much for doing that to us because this is what we need right now. So thank you so much, you and all the directors in the Spectrum. I think it's amazing thing that you guys doing right now for us. I really appreciate. Um, I don't have any questions, so if you just want to talk a little bit more, or if it's okay, if anyone here has any question, just send it to us. We can talk to him.
Yeah. I'd like to know, so do you do this, like, is this part of your job or is it just a volunteer thing you do, or tell me more about this?
About the Just Love, I mean, it's not my job. Like, it's just kind of like a small non-profit organization that my friend and I think she's here watching, Paula. We have the idea of the Just Love. We started because we want to help people who are actually, we start for young and teenagers and kids who identify themselves as LGBT plus. And then they came to us and asking like, oh, I'm thinking about, I think I identify myself as an LGBT. What can I do? Our parents doesn't help us. I don't know who I am, like if I'm gay, if I'm bisexual, if I'm trans. So like we started doing this, like helping kids and teenagers. And then we started to help the parents, like, oh, I have a kid that is, we think that they are an LGBT, so what can I do for them to help them to understand more about them? And basically, what we always did was just like the only thing that we need to do right now is just love. There is nothing else. It's still gonna be your child. It's still gonna be your kid, or they still gonna be your parents, or they still gonna be your family. If you can afford to move on to like move out actually from to another house or another apartment, it'd be amazing. But if you're not, you just need to respect them and and like always be proud of who you are and just love yourself and just believe in yourself. And as soon as like we start to know yourself, love yourself, and be proud of who you are, the world is all yours. So this is the idea of Just Love. So we do some lectures, talking about the LGBT community, try to like allies and people who they don't understand anything about the LGBT. So we provide some lectures, some workshops, um, webinars. So yeah, this is what we do. I actually do this just for love. So
Cool.
and I'm been really glad like for all the feedbacks that we have been receiving about it, the project. So it is amazing.
That's great.
You know, like you guys doing, like we just trying to help our community, right? Just like try to give more visibility for ourselves. Like we are 2020, like you don't have space for hate and violence and LGBT phobic anymore. You just need to love and accept and be kind and respect one another. Doesn't matter the color, the sexuality, the gender identity. Like you just need to respect and try to love everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Great. I don't know if
So that's
you, Carrie Ann said, amazing that you help youth. Thank you. It's so important. Kids, you.
yeah, it is really cool, and it has been really difficult for the young people right now because of the coronavirus, because they're having to stay at home. So if they are in a family, they are totally against LGBT. It has been really hard.
Mm.
So we are trying to show them that we are here, even though the parents or the family doesn't love them or doesn't care about them or don't respect them. We are here for them. So
It's great.
yes,
Important. And I think that's kind of one of my visions for Spectrum too, is that even if someone is in a workplace that is really accepting, respectful, but for whatever reason they feel like they need to keep working there, we're here. Like Spectrum's here to be that community, even if they don't feel like they're respected in their workplace. Hopefully, over time, things can change.
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally hope that you guys grow like as a huge non-profit organization, because I'm sure you're gonna help a lot. So again, thank you so much. I mean, we are gonna share the Spectrum. I think we already put something on our Instagram, but we're gonna share more about you guys because you totally want you guys go everywhere, as you said, not only in Canada but United States, in Brazil, in South America. I don't know, everywhere in the world, because we need you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I don't know about in Canada, but unfortunately in Brazil, because I'm from Brazil, so most of the LGBT community and actually most of the transgenders, the only job, the only career that they can do is on the streets, if you know what I'm saying. So they don't have like any opportunity to go to college and being a doctor or in the skilled trades or anywhere, unless if they hide themselves. This is why my question. So like you guys are amazing, and we totally need you guys over there.
Wow.
So I'm here for you guys too.
Yeah.
As well.
Thank you.
So anything that you guys need, we are here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Perfect. So I guess we can finish the live. Thank you so much, Brian. It was amazing. Like we talk about Spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing. Like again, guys, the live is gonna be saved on our page for like, I don't know, I think 7 days, I believe so. But anyway, so like we're gonna try to share to your friends and everyone, because we definitely need to help the whole LGBT community.
Mm-hmm. Great.
No more than ever, right?
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You break down. What did you say?
Thank you so much.
No, thank you for being here with us. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So guys, have a good night. See you next Thursday. We're gonna talk about DOMA, LGBT United States. So it's also an important topic too. So have a good night. Bye, guys. Just love.
Have a good night.